In this video, we'll be doing a quick rebuttal to an atheist who brings up the winged horse. And of course, they follow Richard Dawkins, who actually raised the same point to Mehdi Hassan. But this will be a detailed rebuttal to the atheists who follow this narrative. But let's see how easily it's going to be refuted, and we'll show how atheists who find this illogical will see the illogicness in their own belief system. Now, as you can see, there's an atheist. His name is Gino Solano on Facebook. He actually writes, and you can see his quotes, and he's writing to Mehdi Hassan. He says, Mehdi Hassan is the one that needs a reality check. He goes on to say, he's on the record online saying that he believes a man went to heaven on a winged horse. He says, once you start admitting you are that far removed from reasonable logic, then you are no fit position to criticize how people run their countries and so forth. So let's go ahead and rebut his statement. Now, as you know, atheists find this illogical that, supernatural events can happen. Like, for instance, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and we see miracles also in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, where Jesus does certain things like turn water into wine, or he may heal the sick and so forth. But when the Prophet Muhammad does miracles, this is apparently illogical, just like Jesus is illogical with his miracles and so forth. But who actually believes in magic and miracles? I mean, if the God of Islam couldn't perform miracles, the atheist will have a double standard. He'll say, what kind of a God is this? He can't even go against the laws of physics and so forth and create miracles and perform wonders and so forth. Right? This is the argument that they'll take place. But then when God can do miracles, they then mock it and say, this is against science, this is illogical, and this is irrational. So either way, nothing will satisfy them. It's like a double-edged sword. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So these atheists wanting us believers to believe, that our God cannot perform such things. It's illogical if he does it. But then the atheists will argue, what kind of a God is this that he can't do things like this? So realistically, they're irrational in their own arguments when they actually assert it. So this is the same God that created all living matter. So why is it impossible for God to create a specific creature to send to the earth and get his prophet to carry him through the heavens? Why would it be illogical? This is the same God that created plants, animals, birds to fly. These are the same atheists that will tell you, oh, there's other life on other planets. It's possible. They go searching for water on Mars, other species on other planets. So where is the argument? Now, he may say, oh, well, we can't really prove that there's a flying creature on Earth, and that's why they're rejecting it. But who says that the absence of evidence is evidence of absence? That premise there goes against your own theory and science. Just because you can't see something, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It may very well exist in heaven. It's one of God's creatures, and he sends it to the earth, and he carries his prophet. What's so irrational about that?
These are the same atheists who dispute and find it irrational that God can create a creature like a flying unicorn or a horse or a mule or so forth. But then they are the same atheists who believe that our universe was a product of two rocks smashing together and creating our universe. You've got other theories like the Big Bang or other theories. And what happened? These two rocks smashed and we have life forms, we have birds that can fly. But hey, God creating a creature that can actually fly and carry his prophet, that's suddenly just illogical now. In fact, these are the same atheists who say that, worms and fish and all these little creatures evolved into birds and flying creatures. Oh, that just happened over millions of years, all by themselves. Oh, no, that's not illogical. See, brainless Mother Nature, it's not illogical for brainless Mother Nature to create these things, but God creating a horse-like creature that can fly on another planet that he sent to this planet so he can carry his prophets to show him miracles and signs. Oh no, that's not it. That's just illogical. No, God can't do that because, see, God is limited apparently to the laws of science. So yes, it is atheists who are illogical when they actually say that God is unable to perform these miracles and carry his prophet from one destination to another. So you're damn if you do, and you're damn if you don't. But then again, these atheists are absolutely logical. Evolution and atheism, the belief that there was nothing and nothing happened to nothing and then nothing magically exploded for no reason, creating everything, and then a bunch of everything magically rearranged itself for no reason whatsoever into self-replicating bits, which then turned into dinosaurs. Makes perfect sense, right? Yes, atheism is very logical, but God creating a creature is illogical.